Hey plant lovers, I hope you are well today. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my smallest houseplants, the cute little ones. So I've chosen a selection for you and let's get started. The first one is my whale fin snake plant, and this one is actually a little bit bigger than it was because we now have 3 plants in there. It did have 2 and we've now got 3 cute little babies. They haven't grown a great deal upwards, I don't think. Maybe a little bit, but yeah, this one seems to be focusing on multiplying at the moment, but I think it's really cute. I've pretty much had just one new leaf per growing season, which is fine. Yeah, a lot of people tend to buy these just in one fin. They do get quite big, they can get really large, but this one's just taking its time. And snake plants, they are known for being slow growers, but yeah, I really like this one. It's a cool plant, and I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of got an almost gold coloured trim on it, as well as that really pretty variegation. But yeah, I'm going to kind of assume that this one's probably grown its last leaf for this growing season. I'm kind of getting to know the plant, so I think it will probably be next year now before I get another leaf, but I'm absolutely fine with that. And then the next one I want to share with you is this little tiny snake plant, another snake plant, only this time this one is a propagation that I took, and I've put it in this little dinosaur pot because who doesn't love dinosaurs, right? And yeah, this is just a little cutting I took. I did actually take quite a few snake plant propagations. This is the only one that survived. I think snake plants are quite difficult to propagate. Well, at least for me they are. You might have a different experience, but this one is successful and it's doing just fine. It hasn't put out any new growth yet, but the fact that it's alive and it grew roots, you know, that is in itself an achievement, because as I say, all my other propagations just did not survive. So this is a little baby one, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. Maybe I'll leave it in the pot like this, but normally what I end up doing with these propagations is I just end up putting them back in the pot, because if nobody wants them, you know, I do give my propagations away, but if no one really wants them and I'm left with extras, I tend to just put them back in the pot, because otherwise I've got an extra plant to take care of. And I really do enjoy propagating, but I don't necessarily want lots and lots of plants. But this is also a really great way of filling out a plant as well, taking propagations and potting them back up. I do it all the time, and it does take a while, but over time you do end up with a fuller plant. Hey guys, it's just me popping in really quickly to tell you about a new thing on my channel. I'm now offering channel memberships, and you can get different perks with the different tiers of membership. There are 3 different tiers, and yeah, you get different perks for each one. So check out the link in the description if you're interested in that. If not, no worries, I'm still going to be doing lots of free content here. And this next one is probably the biggest of the lot today, even though it's still a small plant. This is my Chinese money plant, and I've put this little stake in for it recently because even though it's still a small plant, it is starting to get quite a woody stem there, and it was kind of leaning a bit. So yeah, I gave it a little stake. It doesn't really need like a huge amount of support, but this is just enough to keep it up. And yeah, this one's still putting out new leaves. This is one of the few plants that I have that has not had any pests yet this year. I keep finding the odd thrip on most of my plants. This one has not had any pests yet. Just double checking. It's actually incredible how easy it is to miss them. They are very, very small, but so far so good for this one. No pests, and it keeps putting out really cool new leaves. At the moment this one is a small plant, but at some point this is going to end up being a big plant, and I'm really looking forward to the day when this grows really huge. So yeah, we just have to be patient and wait for it. This plant is one that I'm very fond of because this is my Syngonium tricolour, and the reason why this one is kind of special is because I saved this one from root rot, and it's been quite a long journey. This is the only little plant that I have left, and I've been nurturing this for months. It's been under a humidity cover, and it's recently come out of the humidity cover, and it's still doing really well. So I was a bit nervous about taking it out, but I wanted to acclimate it to just regular humidity. And look at that, it's just putting out really beautiful leaves. It's still very small, but yeah, I just feel really good about this one. It's an achievement to be able to save a plant from root rot. Very often I don't have much success when I try to save a plant from root rot. But this one is going really well. There were some other bits as well, but this was the only bit that survived. So I'm so looking forward to seeing how this one does over the next year. We're coming towards the end of summer now, so I expect this one will start to slow down a bit. I really hope he'll be okay. I'm considering possibly putting him back under a humidity cover for winter. We'll see how it goes. Another member of my baby plant crush at the moment is this little tiny anthurium. Still no idea what kind of anthurium it is. And this one hasn't actually put out a new leaf since I got it. Let's have a look. I don't think I see anything happening either. But, you know, I often find that small plants take a while to kind of start growing. I don't know if you also find that, but they do take much longer than, say, a more established plant. But this is a really cute plant, and my husband bought me this as a gift. So yeah, it's got some sentimental value, and I just really love it. I have it in my bedroom on my dressing table, and yeah, it just makes me happy whenever I see it. This is another one that hasn't actually had pests, just checking it now again. Yeah, I have been spraying it down though, so maybe it did have them and now it doesn't, but it's just been a really nice plant. And as I say, although it hasn't grown any new leaves, it is really well rooted and the roots are healthy and the plant that is here is healthy. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it as it is really, and yeah, looking forward to watching it grow. Next, one of my small plants is this. This is one of my favourite succulents. This is the Crassula cephalophora, I believe, yes. I normally forget its name, but I'm now starting to remember it. And I like this one because it has kind of fuzzy leaves, slightly fuzzy, they're a little bit plump. It does let you know when it needs watering because the leaves might not be so plump. But this one's cool because it's kind of a small shrubby succulent, and you can see it's got kind of red stems, and I kind of like how you get the red stems and then you've got the sort of fuzzy green pads that come out of there. It's kind of cool. And yeah, I don't really expect this to get very big. As I say, it's more of a kind of a shrubby succulent, but I really like this one and I don't exactly see it around much. I think it's quite cool. And yeah, this was grown from a couple of little tiny plants that I bought, I think probably over a year ago now. They were just 2 little £1 pots, you know, the tiny little pots that you can get. And yeah, they've grown pretty well, and I have propagated this one and it does branch out pretty good when you propagate from it too. So if you have one of these, definitely propagate it. I think all crassulas are pretty good for propagating. Not only do the cuttings tend to root really well, but also you get all the new growth from the points at which you chopped it as well, which is really nice. Next is my little baby Ficus Pelisse, my little rubber plant. And if I turn it around, you can see on the back of the leaf there, the red is more kind of obvious on the back at the moment because this one's small. But this is the rubber plant that has the variegation and it has the kind of reddy tinges to it. You can see the veination on it is also red. But this one is probably grown, I think, 1 or 2 leaves in the time that I've got it. And yeah, it hasn't really done a huge amount. But the fact that it's grown 1 or 2 leaves, that's a good thing. And I do have it in a highlight spot too. And it seems quite happy there. But It just hasn't really got into its groove yet. I do also have a really big one of these too. But yeah, I do love this plant, and he's pretty easygoing. I just give him water when he dries out, and like I say, I've got this one in a really bright spot to try and encourage growth, but it doesn't seem to want to grow up, so I don't know, maybe it'll stay small for a while. I'm thinking maybe next year it will get into its swing a little bit more. I have repotted it, so it's in a pot that's big enough. Yeah, sometimes, as I say, baby plants, they just take a bit longer to kind of get going, don't they? And my next one is also more succulents. With this one, I have a few plants in this pot. I have here the bear paw. This is the variegated bear paw. I absolutely adore this one. It's putting out so many tiny new little paws. You can see them there. I just think it's so cute, that one. They're kind of fuzzy too, and yeah, I think this one does get a bit bigger than mine, but mine is quite small at the moment. But I just find it so cute. And even the version of this that isn't variegated is cool. It's just the fact that it looks like little paws is really cool. And the great thing about this one is when it needs watering, the little paws kind of shrivel up a bit and tell you they need water. And then just next to that one, you'll see the purpley coloured one. That's a Kalanchoe, not sure how you say it. But again, this is another little one that I have in this pot. I made this little arrangement some time ago, and this one's having flowers. It's had these flowers for months and months. They just don't seem to disappear. I've left them there because I just think they're really pretty and elegant and cool. It almost looks like a little tree coming out of there. But yeah, the purpley colour of this one and this kind of the stripiness of it is really cool. I like it, and it's really smooth to touch too. Again, this one does kind of what the bear paw does, in that it will shrivel a little bit when it wants water. Same goes for this one just next to it. This is a variegated string of buttons. This one has actually grown a little bit taller, as you can see in the time I've had it. But I just like this little arrangement that I made because they're all different. When you make an arrangement, I think it's nice to have plants with different leaves and different form, and they kind of then all stand out in the arrangement. Also, I'm quite happy with this one that I've managed to keep it watered correctly, because I'm not exactly the best at watering without drainage, but this has been quite a good learning curve for me, because I've managed to kind of learn how to water a plant without drainage. So it's made me think maybe I might try a few more no drainage experiments maybe next year, because it's quite cool when you pop plants into glass containers and you can see their roots. I think that looks really nice. I really hope you enjoyed this video looking at my little baby plants. I did make a video some time ago about my biggest plants, so I thought it would be cool to do the kind of opposite to that and show you my smallest plants. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, and also hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more houseplant content. Until next time guys, look after your plants and look after yourself.